We are here discussing the Atlantic for more tropical activity. The first thing we'll talk about is Gabrielle, which is with us right now. It's a tropical storm. Will become a hurricane more than likely sometime over the next 12 hours or so, maybe 24 at most. So we'll speak on that first. Next thing we'll go over is a couple areas that I'm watching for more tropical activity. One has been dubbed an area of interest, has a 30% chance to develop into a depression or a next named storm. Watching another area also, but we're going to speak heavily on that. Definitely more on that than Gabrielle for sure. So we'll get detail with all model runs, guidance, and all that stuff. And then we'll speak on today's weather, and we'll talk a little bit about a pattern change that's going to support a lot more rain across areas of the country that really need it. And then we'll be done. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. If anybody has anything I can pray about or pray over, please put it in the comments below. Let's get rocking and rolling this morning. Let's make sure it's going to work. And it is just the wrong color. Okay, so now we're good. So where is Gabrielle on your screen? Right here. Much better looking tropical cyclone. Well on its way to becoming our next hurricane of the season. Bermuda is right here. I'll do a small X. And this system does look like it's kind of heading right towards Bermuda, right? Well, it's not. It's going to continue to move more so north and then turn dramatically northeast and then eventually just book it east. So it's going to kind of go like this and then like that. So steering currents in the upper levels certainly supports this just turning back to the east and more than likely not bothering anyone, at least in the short to medium term. We'll have to watch, the islands right here on down the road, or maybe even Europe, but I don't speak on Europe here on this channel. There's other channels that do that. A channel called Weather Watchers. Definitely hit his channel up. He does a fantastic job covering the weather in Europe if you are tuning in from that area. But anyways, this could get just close enough to Bermuda, pink X here, to bring a little bit of impact, especially some big swells, larger waves, but in general, definitely not expecting any significant impacts. Next area we are watching is this region right here, but we'll speak more on that here in a second. So let's go on and just talk a little bit more on Gabrielle. Here's the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. Moving north-northwest at 9 miles per hour, so still kind of bumping to the west just a little bit, but over today it will just gradually strengthen and just kind of begin to move more to the north and then eventually northeast. But 65 mile per hour storm will become a hurricane more than likely sometime today, and the peak intensity forecast for this system is a category 2 over a 100 mile per hour storm. But as you can tell, this looks to stay way out in the North Atlantic. But we will look at a model run here. This is the latest Euro. Here it is. That millibar is dropping. So it says by the time we get into tomorrow evening, this could be a 970-ish millibar storm, which would make it a category 1 or 2 hurricane. Bermuda's that spec here. So it does look like it's far enough away to not bring really any moderate, definitely no significant impacts, and then it begins to move away from everyone. In fact, I'm looking at the wrong storm, so teaser alert, right? This is actually Gabrielle right here. So you kind of got a preview of what we're about to talk about and how it looks the exact same, right? But we're just going to keep rolling. Normally I would start the video over right there because it's a hiccup, but we're just going to keep rolling this morning. So this is a Gabrielle, but it looks the exact same, right? Makes a close pass, 980-ish millibar storm. Category 1, maybe low-end category 2 hurricane. We'll have an opportunity to continue to strengthen as it moves away, but it more than likely will just hang out around a Cat 1, Cat 2 hurricane and then make its way out into the North Atlantic, further out in the North Atlantic. Latest from the ensemble guidance. You can tell gets really close Bermuda here and then it recurves, and yeah, that's all she wrote. So enough of that. The next area we are watching is a tropical wave located where this yellow X is, and it has now a 30% chance to develop into a depression or a next named storm, which is Umberto. It's the H name. It's pronounced Umberto. So 30% chance to develop between now and the next 7 days or so. So this is really our main topic, honestly, not Gabrielle, since it looks like it's going to just stay out in the ocean. But it's this right here. Model guidance is really everywhere on this, but most model runs are showing something now. So here it is. We'll see if this gets bumped up to a moderate chance of developing. It'll show up in orange. That's between a 40 and a 60% chance. But So where is this wave right now? Well, I know you're seeing a lot of action right here at the bottom of your screen. That is actually not really the wave of interest. It's this right here. You can see there's almost a little bit of a rotating kind of a tilt with this, a cyclonic little, it's just an open wave. It's just a classic looking open wave. No deep central convection with this, but I mean, when it's a wave, it's just a tropical wave. You really don't see that kind of stuff. Not really consolidated, but this is just out here doing its thing and moving very slowly from the east to the west. And it's going to take a while, like a week, just to get from this wave right here to kind of get from here to like here. Okay, so that's why they only have this area right here. That's probably not a perfect circle compared to the National Hurricane Center area. But it's gonna take this system to get to about right here before it has a chance to develop sometime between now and the next several days. But that is our wave right there. So let's continue to move forward here. Let's go over model guidance. So you already just got a teaser earlier in the video on what this is gonna do. But we're gonna start us off on Wednesday evening. OOZ Thursday is Wednesday evening, September the 24th. And as we get into Thursday morning, the 25th, our wave is actually right in here, and I know it doesn't look like much of anything, but it is there. So you start to see it more and more as we get into this coming Friday. Here it is, low pressure, 1010 millibar low. What is it going to do? We get into about a week from today. It's literally a week from right now, saying we're going to have a tropical storm right here. But once again, it's just way out here in the Atlantic. And this continues to strengthen into a hurricane and goes exactly where Gabrielle is going right now. Except it's a stronger system and it recurves and it stays out in the North Atlantic and it moves away. So the Euro definitely shows this developing, but it also shows this not really bothering anyone. What about the latest GFS? All right, this is our energy right here. GFS is a little weird because it basically takes some energy out ahead of the wave of interest. Or, excuse me, sorry, not my best video this morning. I actually swallowed my own spit there, so I actually had to pause the video and recover, if you will. So we're starting off on Wednesday evening once again, and it has a tropical energy out ahead of where the Euro is showing it. So it's right into here, and watch what happens with this. If we can get this in motion. Here we go. We got a 1009 millibar low, so we have a developing tropical cyclone. Then it gets into a tropical storm by the time we get into this coming Friday, September the 26th. And it's in an area we don't like to see it, very close to the Bahamas, north of the Turks Caicos Islands. And then this turns into a hurricane off the coast of the southeast, well off the coast of the southeast, I would add. And as we're getting into about 6 days from now, it's a pretty strong hurricane, and it gets very close to the Outer Banks. And, you know, we can go on and take a further out look and look at the Northeast with this run. This is a week from today. It has a hurricane, not a super strong hurricane, but a pretty large hurricane off the coast of the Mid-Atlantic and southern New England, and makes a close enough pass to bring impacts to southern New England about a week from today. That's not a forecast, and of course we need to watch our folks in Atlantic Canada. So GFS gets us a lot closer. What about the Euro AI model, which is done pretty well? This is our wave right here in the darker green. Continue to move forward, and we start to get into Sunday morning, next Sunday morning, the 28th. Tropical storm showing right about where the GFS is showing it. So the GFS and the Euro AI model are actually more on the same page. Normally, the Euro AI model follows the Euro, or vice versa. So this thing does sort of turn before the GFS does, and we get a hurricane kind of between, just in the Southwest Atlantic, kind of in that Bermuda Triangle area, right? So we get about 10 days or 9 to 10 days from now, and we have this, curling and staying out in the ocean, and makes a close pass of Bermuda to the west, and then it heads out into the North Atlantic and doesn't really bother anybody. Kind of splits the gap, right? So begins to curve, get north, and then northeast, and then it's on out of here. Anything behind it doesn't really matter just because it's so far out. But it looks like we do have some sort of cold front. Anytime you see kind of a flattened out area of green like that, it tells me we have some sort of trough in place. So that's something to watch. But even the Canadian model shows something, folks. I mean, we get into this coming Friday. It already has a tropical storm, and then it has a hurricane this coming Saturday morning, you can say now. And then about a week from today, has a category 1 or 2 hurricane well south of Bermuda, well north of Puerto Rico. And it's taking it just in a weird track. But we know the Canadian model is not the best model to look at for the tropics at all. But we'll certainly show it all just to show you that most model guidance is showing something, right? So the Euro ensemble, is it biting on this yet? It is. You see all these L's right in here. Remember, this is a 51 member run. So this little colorful spaghetti area that's going like this, that is Gabrielle. We'll ignore that. We got a couple members over here. We got several members right in here. About 1 week from today, this is where our potential tropical system will be. And then we go 10 days out, and this is what it looks like. And not a very concerning look as far as a threat to land, honestly. We got a few stragglers way down here in the Caribbean and going through areas, and you got a weird one here. Look at this. It's going up and then back down. You don't want nothing like that. But honestly, most of the members that form kind of stay out in the ocean between now and the next 10 days or so. And then we look at the GFS ensemble. This is 1 week out. Let's just go on and go 10 days out. And yeah, I mean, nothing to really speak on much. I mean, it's not a super strong signal, and where it does form something, I mean, it just kind of stays out in the ocean. Now, this is the Google DeepMind ensembles. Something new I've been showing you, just some more model runs here. And is very strong on liking our area of interest wave to develop. You can see many members kind of clustering up right here. They're clustering up so much it kind of blends in. It just looks like a mess, right? And then some model runs are liking another wave developing, or either one of the two develop, but something getting going sort of around the Bahamas, Turks, Caicos Islands. But this is the main area of interest wave that's been dubbed by the National Hurricane Center right here. And then we go about 10 days out, and it's definitely is excited about the idea of something developing. And there's a lot of strong members into this. So, but once again, between now and the next 10 days, I mean, you don't really even see, not even hardly 1 or 2 members hitting land. So I really think there's something here, but once again, will it bother anybody? All right, and this is the Euro AI ensemble. It's kind of like the Euro ensemble, the GFS ensemble. And here they come, pretty strong signal for that wave of interest developing here. And it does show some members trying to get going down here in the Western Caribbean. We got a few members getting very close to the southeast coastline. And that looks scary, I know, but, it's just keep in mind that there's not a lot of support for all this stuff that you see over here. And this is past 10 days out. But I really, regardless, think at the end of the day, something is probably going to develop out of this. But is it going to bother anybody? It's a big question. So it's an update on the tropics. As far as today's weather, we'll get this in motion. More rain across Kansas, Oklahoma, northern Texas. We got a little bit of rain and storm activity across areas of Tennessee and western Kentucky. Zoom back out, waking up to some rainy times up here in lower Michigan, northern Indiana, sections of the UP and Michigan. We'll zoom back out again, and a little bit of rain up against the Louisiana coastline, and waking up to a soggy start in Seattle, a little bit of rain near Twin Falls in Idaho. So hazards alert, some dense fog out there. Then we got some freeze warnings across the interior northeast. Outside of that, pretty quiet. The risk of severe weather, remember that light green is just a general risk of thunderstorms. The dark green is a marginal risk, so level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. And that's for a pretty large area today. One for the Midwest. The other stretches from, northern central Texas all the way through areas of Oklahoma, small section of Arkansas, good chunk of Missouri, all the way up through the Midwest and portions of the Ohio Valley, all the way up into lower Michigan, all the way down to Kentucky. So these storms will have a risk of packing a punch. Risk of excessive rainfall is right here where, just outside of Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield, Fayetteville, you guys have a 15% risk of excessive rainfall. And then the southeast today, this is what we're looking at. We got very lucky here, I would say, in central South Carolina. I picked up a half inch to a 3/4 of an inch of rain here at my location. I thought we were going to get jumped, but it was really nice. It was a surprise. It was a low kind of storm chance day, but we ended up scoring, so it was nice. But I hope others can definitely get that too. But the deep south, just isolated scattered thunderstorms across Alabama, Mississippi. More flow up here in, say, eastern Oklahoma up through Missouri and just the mid-south. So you can see those thunderstorms rolling through overnight, starting this evening, getting into the overnight hours. And then the northeast, we need some rain up here desperately. But we'll get some showers, maybe an area of storms rolling through Ohio. And then we take it into late tonight, all the way into tomorrow morning. Could wake up to some scattered showers across West Virginia, Ohio, and things like that. The south central U.S., definitely a lot more flow over this region. So some of these storms will pack more of a punch. And any of these storms could be strong to severe in northern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, Missouri. Just any storms just in this entire area that you see flowing through sort of southwest to northeast could definitely pack a punch today. Even all the way into the late night hours. I mean, this is 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Waking up to some showers and storms across Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, Dubuque, Missouri, southern Illinois, things like that. So the north central U.S., we get into this afternoon, we get into this evening, scattered showers and storms across really the upper Midwest, really isolated, I would say. But anybody could get it. It's just kind of hit and miss, really, type stuff. So, temperatures, eastern U.S., 60s, 70s in the northeast. Very nice fall weather. Southeast, more warm, 80s. And the deep south, just hot and soupy for mid to late September standards. And then the middle of the country, pretty nice fall-like weather. This is out west, cooler air in the Pacific Northwest, Northern Rockies, but it's warm in Montana once you get kind of into the central, into eastern areas of the state. And then just to speak a little bit about rain on the way, between now and this time next week, next Sunday morning, a lot of rain could potentially fall. And we could get a few to several inches of rain in these states you see on your screen. So, I mean, even areas of the deep south could get rain. And, you know, just kind of zooming into the deep south, this is rainfall, same time between now and next Sunday morning. Not everybody will get it, but some much needed rainfall could end up going on with just a more active pattern across the middle of the country. And then this is the northeast. We're trending better as far as these rainfall totals. I think this coming weekend, next weekend, could be an opportunity to get rain, or at least give or take a day around the weekend. So, yeah. That's all I got, guys. Sorry for just not being really with it this morning. I am waking up and it's taking me a while to get going this morning. Definitely slept into like 7:15, so the video is definitely going to drop later than normal. But just between swallowing my own spit and all that stuff. Yeah, so y'all have a wonderful Sunday. God bless all y'all, and we'll get back to it tomorrow morning. God bless.